Okay, Libra, it's time for your July reading. I'm Debbie Dubois. Welcome to my channel, True Sacred Union. We are going to get started. I'm going to do a little shuffling of the cards. We're going to take a look at your love life and your creative expression. We're going to find out what is going on for you for the month of July. All right. While I'm shuffling and before we get started, I do want to let you know that I am going to be in Niagara Falls at a Twin Flame and Ascension workshop being held by Marla Kelly. Niagara Falls is a great place. I grew up right near there. Very excited to go back to my old stomping ground. And I'm going to be there with some very dear friends. Besides Marla will be Kalina Malnar, which I don't know if you know or not, but we did have a radio show together at one time, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing her again. And then Angie and Rob, who hosted Banff Twin Flame Workshop in October of last year. So it's going to be a great time. We've already got seats filling up, so if you feel drawn, please do come join us at September 27th, 28th, and 29th in Niagara Falls. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have in terms of housekeeping. Let's just get started. Really trying to keep these readings moving along so that you don't get bored. But if it is too slow for you, all you have to do is play it at double time or maybe 1.25 and you will get the information as fast as you can digest it. Okay, so what are the overall energies for Libra for the coming month of July? Actually, we've already started July. Let's see here. All right, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. We've got Saturn. And we got Trophy. All right, this bodes well. All right, let's take a look at the energies here. Okay, Saturn is coming up again. I've seen it several times in readings that I've done today. And whenever Saturn is acting as a restrictor, it is always putting you into a position whereby you will, through duty and responsibility, actually make sure that things are all lined up before you take off. Okay, you want to make sure that the structure is very sound before moving forward. So now we're looking at that right here combined with the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about cycles. It's all about repeats. Maybe you've been through situations that seem to repeat over and over again. And Saturn is here to try to help you break out of that. And paired with the Trophy, what does that say? You will be successful at it. So this is going to be an interesting month for you. Okay? Libra, you are going to take a look at these cycles, the forces of the universe, the Saturn restrictions. Why have you been restricted? What are the duties and responsibilities? Are they duties and responsibilities that you need to continue? Boundaries. Are you putting up the boundaries? Or are boundaries being drawn for you? All of these things come into play in terms of fate, karma, why you're having what happens, what you draw to you, what your destiny is, the synchronicity of things that happen to you. So much of that has to do with, duties, responsibilities, and boundaries that are either placed on you or that you've placed on yourself. More than likely, you've placed them on yourself. What we're looking at this month is we're looking at allowing the Saturn restriction to help you break free of some of these I wouldn't say more than break free, but align with more of the forces of the universe. Allow the universe to help maybe break some of those cycles so that you can have the true success moments, that you can reach the goals that you've set out to achieve, that you can gain the success and even fame for what you're looking to do. So this is a very powerful reading. So far it seems almost creative expression oriented. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look very specifically at your love life. Let's see what's going on there. All right, so let's pull. I'm going to reach way over here. All right, so the first card is the book. The second card is the ring. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so we've got mortar, pestle. The rings are the primary card in this 3-card spread. Now, for those of you who don't know about, my favorite deck is the Intuit Oracle by Aria. It is a Lenormand type of deck, in that cards are read in pairs, although Lenormand requires a lot of memorization and cards mean very specific things. I like this because for me, these are permission slips to give me information on stuff that's already coming through. It helps guide me, gives me keywords that pop at me. But anyways, I do read them in pairs just so you know what I'm doing here. So the primary dominant energy in this is about partnership, okay? So we're talking about your love relationship and we're talking about partnership. We're talking about commitment. As opposed to the engagement ring, there's another ring in here which is taking things to the next level. This is about reaching an agreement in the partnership that you have. Okay, it is about a promise that you've made. It is about commitment. But here we've got the word cycle again. Interesting. Cycle shows up here. It shows up in the Wheel of Fortune. That kind of tells me, is this a cyclical kind of relationship? Is this one that keeps coming around and around and around? There is something that you're supposed to know about this. It's something in this hidden book. It's you're opening up the book. You're going to go in and find out what is unknown. What is the secret here? I want some knowledge. I want some knowledge to help me close this cycle, this agreement. What is this pact? What is this partnership that keeps it going and going? We're going to take that with that mortar and pestle. We're going to alchemize it. All right, we're going to have some things go on this month that are going to alchemize that. What does that do? That breaks things down and it makes it into something else. Now, it may be that the Saturn restriction is actually there so that you can, I want to say, break the cycles of repeat, and actually move you forward into the success or making something new, making something fresh and new that is much more aligned with where you're at. Now, for some of you, you may be this could represent a partnership with a particular person, with your sacred partner. It could be that. It could be you're diving into some of the mysteries of what exists there for you in that relationship. But it does feel this is more contract oriented. This is more like, I want to say more formal agreement. The rings, okay, more traditional marriage. That's the kind of contract. We're talking contracts as opposed to soul contracts, where the engagement ring, I feel, is more about soul contracts and taking things to the next level. We've got some things to look at here. We are doing some alchemizing, so that's what's happening there. Now, let's take a look at your creative expression. All right, we've got the magnifying glass. We've got the squirrel. This is your creative expression. Interesting. And we've got the tower. Okay, let's go into this information. Okay, so the squirrel. It does seem in your situation, whatever you're dealing with your creative expression, you've got some squirrel energy around you, which is, I want to say the word that comes to me is scolding. You've got some scolding. Someone's scolding you or you're scolding someone. I don't really know, but there's scolding going on. And it's almost like the squirrel is shouting out at you. Something has to, it is a secretive energy. The squirrel is a secretive energy. It's giving lip service. It's saying one thing and doing something different. It also, though, and this isn't on that card, squirrel energy is also about saving up for a rainy day. Trying to, I think of the pack rat that pulls all the stuff together and they keep it all hidden away. It can be a good thing, though, because down the road you've got that resource. But in this particular case, the energies, and this is related to your creative expression. It does seem the magnifying glass is asking you to go into that and take a closer look at what that's all about. You need to look at what are the details of this situation. You need to examine it very carefully because this is all about corporate, institution, guidance. But the standalone kind of means that you're a little bit on your own in this, all right? You're a little bit on your own, and you've got this corporate government kind of energy that's I want to say it's with the squirrel energy, and it's not super comfortable. So you're probably going to be dealing with this just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to ask Source when I talk, about the next question is, what does your higher self have to say? I'm going to ask Source to give us a little bit of, obviously, what do you need to know overall, but maybe a little bit more clarification on what this energy is around the creative expression and maybe what you can do. Well, I am already getting some information, and that is that the Saturn restriction is actually forcing you to deal with this stuff. And it is part of the victory. So in other words, surrender a little bit to this process. It might not be very comfortable, but it is for a reason. All right, we're going to go ahead and we are going to take a look at what's your higher self saying. Okay, we've got the wine card. We've got the Milky Way. And we have the snake. Okay, this should be fascinating. Okay, what is Source saying? Okay, right now might be a time when you are very focused on, I want to say, collaboration through online stuff, whether it's texting, collaboration through online friendships, partnerships. For some of you, it's actually marketing. It's actually marketing with internet. The spotlight. So you've got these kinds of energies going on around you. So something says to me creative expression, right? So I'm getting this as kind of clarification for the creative expression. Now, what if we got here? We've got that paired with the snake, okay? There is some snake energy around you. There is a bit of jealousy. There is a bit of a feeling of deception, of betrayal. There's this energy, and it might really have to do with career energy. Somebody's giving you the silent treatment because they're not real happy maybe with some of the creative expression. But your creative expression has been developing over time, and it is the good stuff. It is the good stuff, and it is ripening well with time. And so this energy right here that you're experiencing may actually be the squirrel energy that I'm picking up on. There is something, and remember, deception is you don't necessarily know that you've got that energy around you because that person, those people, they're not saying that. But there is some kind of jealousy, backstabbing energy and I do believe it's creative expression. Over creative expression. I don't feel that this is really a love relationship reading. Okay, this does not feel that way. We've got information on relationships, but this does not ring very true. Like this does not feel like a twin flame situation. This feels like something else. All right. It doesn't feel sacred partner energy, but it does. What I do know is that in order to align yourself with sacred partner energy, you must deal with the energy that's sitting in front of you in order to move and expand into newer realms of relationship. So right now, while you may be really focused on expanding what you're doing in your creative expression. You've got some energy there that's a little jealousy. It could be you. I'm not saying it's not you that's feeling a little jealousy or that you might not be carrying a little backstabbing energy. I don't pick that up. But you may really feel like, going back over here to the tower, you may really feel like you are standing alone. You're holding up the shop. You are doing it. You are the structure. You are the hierarchy. You are the person. But this energy right here that you're dealing with, the scolding kind of lip service energy that kind of goes along with this snake energy, that requires a little bit more investigation. This examining what's going on, take a closer look at it, because whatever it is you've got going on, developing over time, this wine is an extremely good thing. So whatever it is you're creating, whatever it is you're tuned into, it's really very important what you're doing, you know, and it's the good stuff. So you definitely don't want to allow the other energy to make that big of an impact on you. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to pull an Ascended Master card. We'll see if we get any more information for you, Libra, on the month of July. See if we can tie anything up. See if Spirit has any more information. All right. Come on. There we go. We've got a definite, well, we've got actually 2 cards. Okay. We've got 2 cards that came out. This was a, oh my. Okay. So we have the twin flame energy. Now, and do we just say this reading is not about twin flames? I mean, it did not have any twin flame energy to it. The twin flame card just came flying out. You saw it right across the placemat. All right, I am going to pull all this together. We ended up having another card flip, and we're going to read these cards. All right. Okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry, I just had to do that. There is something having to do with twin flame energy here, okay? Twin flame energy represents your ideal connection, okay? Whether that is a real twin flame, twin soul, or if it is your ideal relationship partner, this is here and present and wants to be heard. Because this energy right here is your positive change. The vibrational match with your ideal has to be, all this stuff has to be dealt with in order to get to this place, all right? That's going to represent positive change. So let's see what else is happening here. All right. Whenever I think of the catalytic heart awakening, I think of it as what has to happen in order for you to align with your highest potential for relationship. All right, that is, and it's ascension. Ascension puts us in a place of balance so that we can literally create relationships, whether that be partnerships for work, whether it be familial relationships, or whether it be sexual, love relationships. We have to get into our highest self in order to experience what they think of as the fairy tale kind of love, where there's a lot of freedom, where there's genuine authenticity, where there's no codependence and neediness, all of those things. So what this reading seems to be indicating to me is that you must work through whatever it is that you've got going on and make something new, alchemize it in order to bring in that energy. You've got cycles that come around and around again and again through the Wheel of Fortune and the Ring card, all right? And what's happening is you're getting some restrictions. You're getting the Saturn restriction. I'm trying to think of where else. You're in a restriction right here when it comes to the squirrel energy, when it comes to standing alone, all right? You've got some restriction here with some kind of negative, non-productive energy that you've got going on that you're somehow aligned with. You've aligned yourself with this energy for some reason, and I'm not really sure why. But, in what you're doing and what you're trying to create, over time, this is happening. And when you get something like Saturn restriction is going to say, hey, you need to pay attention to this because we want the victory. We want that victory. We want the positive changes. We want the alignment with that sacred partner energy. You might need to take a little bit of a closer look in order to get there. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I want to thank you so much for being with me for your Libra reading for July. If you resonate with this information, would like to see more readings like this, please do go ahead and like my video, share it. I would love to invite you to be a subscriber with my channel if you have not already done so. And if you want to see more of this, press the bell. That way you won't miss any of the wonderful new information that's coming through for Source that will help you actually get to this place. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. Until next month, catch my weekly readings too. I have weekly readings that come every Saturday that are mostly relationship oriented. So anyways, thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.